I met somebody who told me about Tulum, packed a little bag, got on a plane, and I fell in love with it instantly.
Meet Melissa Perlman, who moved from New York City with a fearless attitude and a dream of running a hotel in Tulum, Mexico.
I packed up my apartment and brought all the things down that I thought I might need to start a hotel.
With no practical experience, Melissa hustled to make her vision a reality.
I'm missing that fear gene, the fear of failure gene. Then I was like, what the hell have I done here?
And now she runs a popular beachfront resort where people come to rejuvenate their mind, body, and spirit.
Are you ready to work out with us?
This is where the home of Bikini Bootcamp, right?
Forward fold.
Melissa not only found her calling in Tulum,
I love being able to combine everything that I love to do into my business.
she also found love and is now raising a family in paradise.
And we'd run into each other like at the gas station, at the bank. Like, hi, how are you? Bye. And we wound up making a decision to live together and have a child together and share our lives. I'm very happy. Look where we are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're here in Tulum, Mexico to meet Melissa Perlman, who's originally from Arizona, but now lives as an expat down on the world-renowned Maya Riviera. In the past, Melissa traveled all over the world and was always left wanting more. Eventually, she risked it all to follow her dream of opening her own beachfront retreat. So let's check out one of the hottest places in the Caribbean to relax and rejuvenate and meet the brains behind this beautiful vacation destination. Knock, knock.
Come on in.
Hi, I'm Savannah.
Melissa.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so glad you're here.
So excited to be here. It's so beautiful.
My name is Melissa Perlman. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona, and I moved to Tulum. So I was thinking that we'll go show you around Amansala.
I love it. Let's do it.
I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old son named Dylan, and I have a 2-year-old named Leia, and I have a husband named Sergio. I guess a good place to start showing you around would be my house.
Okay.
We live here on the beach at Amansala, my hotel. For a long time, I actually lived in a room. And then I had my second child, and I was like, it's kind of tight. So I got the idea to build my house on the corner of the hotel property right here.
Your casa.
Mi casa es tu casa.
Ah, thank you.
I spent all my childhood in Phoenix, and I realized that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life there.
Wow, this is really gorgeous.
And then this is a little patio where we have breakfast. And I wanted to move to a big city, and I pictured New York to be very international, to be fast-paced, to be exciting, to be glamorous. And, it pretty much was, to the point that it was overwhelming.
She got caught up a little bit in the New York lifestyle, which for a while was very much to her liking.
I was in New York for about 6 years, and I worked for myself all the time. But it's really a distinct type of person who wants to stay there for their whole life.
So how does this compare to the way you were living in New York before you came down here?
Night and day. I loved it, but I just found myself feeling kind of empty and meeting a lot of people, but not really knowing that many people. Then I started to find myself going through the motions, and I thought, wait a minute, I don't have to be here.
And what were you doing that you were able to just sort of bail when you were in New York?
I was actually working on my own project for a guide to the world's best places to rejuvenate the mind, body, and spirit. And in doing that, I realized that there wasn't the kind of place that I really was looking to go to. When I was sort of craving more nature, I love being outside, I love being in a warm climate, and I was just feeling sort of claustrophobic in my studio apartment when there was this whole wide world out there to explore. And that's when I decided to make a change. So I came down and
Ditched New York.
Ditched New York, and here I am.
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Leia.
Hi, Leia.
You ready to go to school, Leia? Ready to go? Why don't you come with me? We're going to drop her off at school. I'll give you a little, a day in the life here of what's going on in Tulum. Oh, Leia. All right, let's hit the road.
Tell me about a typical day.
Well, a typical day is, get up around 6:45, get the kids up, and then I drive them to school, and normally stop by one of my favorite taco stands and have a little breakfast. We're going to take you there.
Oh, fantastic.
Tulum is its own little village. It's really like having this big extended family. Good morning. ¿Cómo estás? I know the teachers at the school. I know the woman. I know her children. And you have a lot more interpersonal relationships, kind of like living in the olden days. And I really like that it's not superficial. Okay.
Oh, she loves it. Bye.
Bye, Leia. Have a good day, sweetie.
Does that mean we get to get tacos now?
Yeah, exactly. It does. It does. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Anything you don't eat that I should know about?
No.
You eat like goat head? Just kidding. Dos de queso y dos de pollo de barbacoa. Por favor. Gracias.
Melissa was always an adventurous child. She knew she was thinking about something different and something bigger.
Ah, gracias.
So I never really held her back. Of course, when she told me she was going to Tulum, I thought, oh, this is probably just one more adventure for her. And we'll see what this one will lead to, because I didn't even know where Tulum was.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. So good.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Oh my
What do you
gosh.
think?
So good.
Yeah. Had you traveled much? Were you like a traveler when you were in
No.
college and young? No.
No, but after college I moved to Tokyo. You know, I didn't know anybody, I didn't speak Japanese, and it was a little bit of a crazy idea, but I wound up going there and staying 6 years and learning how to speak Japanese.
Wow.
I wound up helping American companies find ways to do business in Japan. But during that time, I traveled a lot around Asia, and it opened up my eyes from traveling. And after 6 years in Asia, I decided to move to New York. And it was freezing. It was the middle of February, and I met somebody at a party casually who told me about Tulum. And I was like, to where? To what? Packed a little bag, got on a plane, and headed down here. And I fell in love with it instantly. And then I found myself coming back here every year, never imagining I was going to make my life here. But it kept calling me back and calling me back, and that was like 13 years ago.
And here we
13
are.
years
at the
later,
taco
we're eating
stand, dropping
tacos.
your daughter off at school.
Exactly. Who would have imagined? All right, now we're ready to start the day. Everybody thinks it's so easy to run a resort. They come down and they're like, oh my God, you're living the life. This looks so amazing. But little do they know what's going on behind the scenes. There's no electricity in this area, and there's no running water. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into running a place that people don't think about, like electricity and water.
Yeah.
You know,
The
which
basics,
is
really.
the basics. You know, running a hotel is like having a little village. Walk right through here. Amansala. It's like an enchanted garden, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
This is one of our smaller rooms, but I love this room because you're right on the ocean. I made the decision that I wanted to leave New York. And I came up with this idea for a healthy, fun vacation where people could rejuvenate themselves from the inside out. And right away I was like, yeah, that's it, Bikini Bootcamp.
You've built this whole hotel. Was that anything you had experience
No.
in before you came down here? No.
No, I just kind of did it by instinct. I packed up my apartment and brought all the things down that I thought I might need to start a hotel, which consisted of a lot of sheets and pretty curtains and Buddhas and incense and decorative things. Well, my game plan when I arrived to Tulum was to find an existing set of cabanas or bungalows that needed a little sprucing up, where I could maybe bring some people in to do my like healthy wellness program, and maybe do it, you know, like for a month, maybe a month and a half, and then go back to New York. But I wound up coming across a place that was an abandoned set of cabanas. And there were a few guys drinking beer with music playing, and they were kind of putting cement, throwing it all over. And I walked up and I thought, wow, this place has potential. And I started looking around and I'm like, this is it. And I started talking to the workmen. And I actually told them right there, I said, you need a window in this room. And I took a stick and I drew out a window in the wet cement, and I said, ventana. And they're like, see, okay. And they started breaking out the window. And then I looked at them, I'm like, porta, you know, and I started designing a room with them right there. And they, you know, they gave me a beer. Pretty soon I'm down there with the music, and I'm in the construction crew for like 2 hours. And then the owner showed up, and I introduced myself, and I said, you know, ¿cuánto cuesta? Like, how much for one night, for one room? And he told me, and I said, how much for a week? And then how much for a month? And then I said, how much forever? And they would look at me like I was crazy. And we sat down right then and there on a serviette, on a napkin, and started writing out a deal. Then the fun really started. Then I was like, what the hell have I done here? I put away about $50,000, and I thought that would be enough. But my $50,000 ran out really, really fast. And I remember being at the bank machine and then saying like balance $22.70. And I was like, oh no. But I was still trudging through, going for it and moving ahead. So I was thinking I'd give you a tour of our yoga room that's in front of the ocean.
Oh, gorgeous.
When I ran out of money, some neighbors that lived down the beach came over and they said that they had a friend, a couple, who needed a place to stay for a few weeks. And I showed them, I said, well, I have one room finished that actually has a working toilet and windows and doors and everything. And they were like, yeah, it's fine, we'll take it. I think I'm missing that fear gene, you know, the fear of failure gene. So Ronnie was his name. They moved in on like a Thursday. And Saturday was payday in Mexico, so all the workmen were around. And they were asking to be paid. And I was like, oh, but I'll give you 500 pesos. And then next week, you know, I'm like trying to get him to finish the job. So Ronnie comes over and he said, why don't I just pay you $1,000 right now? And we'll just figure it out at the end of our stay. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. So with that $1,000, I was able to finish another bathroom, another door, another room, and then I rented it to people who walked in off the beach. That's how I financed the project.
I need to do some yoga.
So why don't we go take a walk and I'll show you the property.
Okay.
I kind of established myself in Bikini Bootcamp and I saw that I liked living here and this other opportunity presented itself. There were these two beautiful villas that I used to pass on my morning beach walks that were abandoned. Rumor was it that they belonged to Pablo Escobar, the Colombian. I took a meeting with the government office and they gave me the opportunity to caretake the houses while they were in the hands of the government. You can sort of get a feel for the enormity.
It was a big project.
Oh, it was a huge project. It was an enormous undertaking. Like, it looked like a bomb had gone off, but you could see the structures were just amazing. It took me about 2 years to finish the project. It was a major renovation.
And you had guests in the place and the whole thing. You were open,
it was
you had
functioning.
guests.
There was a wedding arriving a couple days later.
And then it was all just literally in a day, sort of just taken away.
Yeah. An owner had showed up that had title to the property. It was like my worst nightmare. I mean, I cry about it still because it was a really emotional time. It was my home, it wasn't only my hotel. And they said, you have 5 minutes to get out. And I was standing there with my little boy and I was like, what do you mean get out? And they weren't the kind of people you want to mess with, you know? And I was reminded very clear that I am in Mexico. It's still the Wild West. I'm a woman, I was a single mom. Is my safety in danger, the safety of my son by being here? You know, I had to make a decision. And I just decided, you know what? I'm not gonna let this knock me down. I'm gonna just keep going. I take it as an amazing experience. I mean, it was a project that nobody, you know, had taken on, except the local gringa. You know, on a typical day, I have the maintenance of the hotel, the who's coming, who's going, the food, the prep, what we're gonna serve, any special events. So I need to have a meeting right now with my staff and just sort of go over what's happening today because we have a busy day. Kelly, how many people are coming in today for yoga?
18. I really, really love working at Amansala, and working for Melissa is inspiring because to me she's a symbol of anything's possible.
And then what time is everybody coming in today?
1 o'clock is the main group, and then a couple at 2 and a straggler at 9:30.
Okay, great. Bikini Bootcamp started slowly. I had one girl, and I'll never forget, she arrived and she was looking at me and she said, well, where are all the other campers? I said, you're it. What time are they doing yoga in the morning?
We're gonna do beach walks at like 6 and then come and eat.
So I'd ring the gong and say, beach walk with Melissa, bike ride to the ruins with Melissa. And then I'd be in the kitchen when the chef didn't show up, frying up some fish, you know, on the grill, and I'd be like, lunch by Melissa. And then I'd run in and scrub the toilet and be like, oh, she doesn't see me. So I think we have our first arrivals who just came in. Hi, ladies. Welcome to Amansala.
Thank you.
Bikini Bootcamp started slowly, but then 3 people signed up. And then I was like, wow, 3 people at one time. And then one week, 6 people signed up. And I thought, God, who would have imagined 6 people at one time? We'll help you get settled in. Everything else we'll go over tonight after dinner. Right this way. And so it kind of became the hot spot for women in New York to rejuvenate their mind, body, and spirit. Here's your room with a view. Oh my God. You know, have a real authentic experience more than just a fancy hotel stay.
Oh, this is the best.
I'm
must be a nice reaction.
Yeah.
People have.
That's what we want people to say when they arrive. Wow.
So I've seen the work part, but I know there's got to be some reasons that you live here to play too, right?
Oh, of course. I don't know if you've ever been to a cenote, but they're just beautiful.
I have never been to a cenote.
Oh, I'm going to take you. You're going to love
Fantastic.
it. Savannah, this is my husband, Sergio. We've got the snorkel gear. Let's go.
All right. What is a cenote?
A cenote is an underwater freshwater swimming hole. And they're like caverns that line the entire Yucatan Peninsula. And this one is great for the visibility.
Whoa, this is...
Isn't it amazing?
In the surface, fresh water.
And then down it's salty?
Because eventually they connect to the ocean. That's what's so unique about a cenote.
I've experienced a lot of your work life, but I want to know about you guys.
Sergio and I met each other like my first month I was in Tulum, like 10 years ago.
When I first met Melissa, I thought she was very brave to leave the big city of New York and come here to work, no? But that time Tulum was very rustic, very basic.
We were both like leading parallel crazy lives, like building hotels, working hotels, you know, like slaves to the business, and we'd only go out to do errands, and we'd run into each other like at the gas station, at the bank, like, hi, how are you? Bye.
We were mostly talking about the tourism, about the occupation, about the weather.
And 4 years ago, we stopped, and we haven't stopped.
That's amazing. So you finally, the timing worked out. And
Yeah,
it was
the timing worked out. It was right at a point in my life when I was thinking, everything is so good. You know, I have my son, I have my business, but I would really love somebody to like share all this with.
And that was it? The minute you said yes?
And we wound up making a decision to live together and have a child together and share our lives.
I'm so ready for a swim. This looks amazing.
So how was it?
So awesome.
You guys ready to go? We got more adventures waiting.
Then yes.
All right, Savannah, you ready to work out with us?
I guess so. I mean, this is where the home of Bikini Bootcamp, right?
Exactly. My main reason for coming down here was to start this Bikini Bootcamp program.
All right, guys.
All right, you ready?
Oh, gosh, okay.
All right, how's everybody doing? You ready to work out?
Yeah.
All right, so take your right leg and bring it down. The idea of the program is it's not just a holiday and switch sides. It's a vacation with a purpose and a place where they would go home feeling and looking better than when they arrived. Forward fold.
It just inspires health and wellness and spiritual advancement and emotional release. That's what drives her, I'm sure.
Keep it moving. Last one, all right. We're gonna take a run to that palm tree and come right back here.
She really had this vision that she wanted to help people. And I thought, this is the real Melissa coming out now.
Keep it moving.
This is gonna bring out all that she has.
Bring it on home. Come on, ladies. By the end of their stay here, you see dramatic changes. People really start to shed their layers. And you see like the beauty in people just come out and reach. People just say they feel lighter. They feel more balanced, more alive. And I feel so fortunate that I'm able to incorporate that into my world. Come on, good workout. Good job, good job. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Come into town with me. We're gonna pick up some groceries for the hotel.
Okay, cool.
How'd you sleep?
I slept amazing.
Good. So I'm taking you right now to the local fruit market where I buy a lot of our supplies. Hola. The cost of living in Mexico is obviously much cheaper than it is in the States. You get one more of these babies. Groceries are probably about 40% cheaper.
It's incredible the difference in price between here and the States. I mean,
Avocados are expensive back home, right?
oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, like here they're like $3 a kilo, so it's like $1.50 a pound.
Whoa.
You pretty much can get everything you need here, but you're just paying a lot less for it. So I think we're ready to go.
All right. Are there things that you miss about being back in the States, like specific things?
You know, like there's not really good clothes shopping here. Sushi. You know, a good old trip to Target now and then. But no, I really don't miss much.
Does Tulum feel like home?
I have no immediate plans to live anywhere other than Tulum. And I'm very happy, look, you know, where we are. I actually go back to Phoenix, where my parents live now and then. But I have to say, after a couple of weeks, I'm ready for my life again. And I love that feeling every single time I come back from being somewhere else. When I pull into the driveway here and I get out of the car and I feel that warm ocean breeze on my face, and I have this overwhelming feeling of, I'm home.
What would your advice be to somebody that's back in the States and has this crazy dream or this path they want to follow like you did? What would be your advice?
If you think too much about it, you'll never do it. You kind of just have to take the plunge and trust that things will work out, and know that what's your worst case scenario? You pack it all up and you go back home.
Well, I can certainly cheers to that. And it worked out well for you.
Salud. I feel so blessed that I wake up every morning in front of this beautiful blue ocean, and I start my day, which is basically filled with my hobbies. And I have a lot of gratitude for being able to spend a lot of time with my children, and where I'm able to meet so many interesting, amazing people that come to my home.
We like to travel together. We like to raise our kids. We like to run our businesses. We share these things together.
She's really living her dream.
Well, I'm very proud of Melissa. But it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere down the line, Melissa would come up with another idea and say, Dad, I'm going to try something new.
Rob and Nadine.
Bienvenidos, welcome to Costa Rica.
I worked 12 hours a day, she worked 12 hours a day. We couldn't eat well, we couldn't take care of ourselves.
And I just said, I promise you, we won't live like this anymore.
Success should not be measured in money. Success should be measured in happiness.
When I moved here, as we were going through this journey, I just started writing the funny stories down. I put it in a book.
Quitting my job, moving to Costa Rica, and living the 0-hour work week.
We were tossed into a whole new life. It was like being children again.
It was like every step that we took led us here.
600 per kilo.
It was like the puzzle just fit, and Costa Rica was that last piece that you put right in the middle.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant.
I'm Eric Ripper.
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman, the host of On the Table.
The host of Across the Board.
Host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
Host of the show, Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend, on the Reserve channel.
It's only on Reserve.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the Reserve channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.